All right, so at the weekend, a new champion was crowned, and that man's name is Spain's own Ilia Topuria after what was just an incredible stoppage of the longtime champion, Alexander Volkanovski. We know that. We saw that. We saw the damage. We saw the power in the hands, and we saw truly the star potential of what Ilia Topuria is, what he is capable of, and the future that he may have. But the question is, should there be an immediate rematch? Volkanovski has been around for a long time. He's been an incredible champion, and he's probably the greatest featherweight that we've had in the sport. Of course, there is others. There's Jose Aldo, who he defeated. There is Max Holloway, who he defeated 3 times. And granted, fair enough, maybe Jose Aldo, was towards the end of his career. But regardless, it doesn't matter. We're splitting hairs. Volkanovski is great by name and great by nature. The man is unbelievable. So what does he do next? Okay, because he was looking good in round 1. Ilia Topuria himself even said afterwards, he said he was faster than what I thought he would be. He was moving fantastically. He was very good. And he was landing a lot of kicks, okay? And there's a potential that he might have even won round 1. Very, very close. He was not outclassed, but he was caught by the Spaniard in brutal fashion. That right hook that he landed, the exact same right hook that he floored Jai Herbert with, and no doubt going to floor a lot of people with in the future. So Spain's Ilia Topuria, this man's blowing up already. I think in 24 hours, his Instagram following has gone up by 700,000. He's on almost 3 million followers, and that's going to get bigger. As I say, the question is, what's next? Okay, should he fight in an immediate rematch? That's what he wants. He said, listen, UFC's talking about going to Spain. They're probably going to go to Spain sometime later this year. Dana even confirmed they'll go to the Bernabeu Stadium where Real Madrid play. It's an indoor stadium that holds about 50,000 people, right? They're going to go there. And what better fight to do than the immediate rematch? So the question is, should Volkanovski get an immediate title shot, right? Does he deserve one? Well, on paper, yes, he does. He defended the featherweight strap 5 times against Max Holloway, Chang Sung Jung, Yair Rodriguez, Brian Ortega, right? He's taken out the best fighters in the division time after time after time. But he has lost 2 in a row now. And I take no pleasure in saying this. Everybody loves Volkanovski. He's one of the most genuine, humble, down-to-earth fighters that the UFC has ever seen, okay? And I truly mean that. He lights up the room. His energy is just infectious. Whenever he walks in, everyone's got a smile on the face. He's funny. He doesn't take himself too serious. The old man skit was hilarious. Showing up at the press conference dressed as the old man. There was people in the crowd dressed as old man Volk. I mean, that man's going to live for eternity. Old man Volk. And the last thing to go is power as you get older. So, look, listen. The reality is getting finished 2 times in a row and then bouncing back straight away against Topuria, the man that just did it. I don't know if it's the right idea. Look, listen, as fighters, we operate with confidence. Confidence is such a vital ingredient in the mindset of a fighter. Of course, he's got the skills. His boxing's fantastic. He's got great footwork. He can wrestle. He's got jiu-jitsu. And he's only 35. The whole old man Volk thing, okay, it's just because of his stats. But he's not old. He's 35, okay? But I would suggest he takes some time away from the sport, because if he goes back against Ilia Topuria, when you've just lost twice in a row and you've finished twice in a row, okay, maybe that's not the recipe for the best performance of a lifetime. In boxing, they would have a comeback fight. There would be a build-up fight. There would be a get your mojo back type of fight, okay? And certainly somebody like Volk deserves that. But if somebody else steps in and the division moves along, who knows what happens? And if he was to lose his next fight, which I'm not saying he would, but if he was, then that would be any title fight aspirations gone, evaporated, out of the window. So for Volk, he wants to come back straight away. But he's got to take some time off, okay? I think he needs to take 6 months, 9 months, maybe even a year, right? Maybe Topuria fights somebody else in the meantime. Or maybe it's the first one that they do. Oh, listen, they're going to go to Spain. They want to put on a tremendous fight card. Ilia Topuria is going to open up that entire market. Mixed martial arts is growing in Spain in a big way. They got a lot of great fighters. Joel Alvarez is one of them that springs to mind straight away. That man's fantastic. And versus Volkanovski, that would be another huge fight, okay? But Volkanovski should take the time away, as I say. He needs to have the proper concussion protocol and just forget about fighting for a bit. Even if he took a year off and came back at 36 years old, it doesn't matter. The miles on the clock, the wear and tear, that's already there. Just got to take some time off, just rest, and then come back, right? Fresh, confident, and ready to do some damage. It's not over for Volkanovski, right? Listen, it looks like it might be on paper. He just lost his belt and he lost at 155 pounds to Islam, right? But come on. He lost 3 out of his last 4. That sounds bad. But then you got to go all the way back to 2013 to see when he lost again. He went on a ridiculous run. But Saturday night, of course, that belonged to Ilia Topuria. I went into the octagon afterwards. There was flowers and rose petals all over the place. The man's a class act. He was confident from the get-go. He knew he was going to do this. But he also knows that if he gives Volkanovski a rematch, that is going to be another very, very tough fight. Now, of course, outside of Volkanovski, when you look for other contenders, there is, of course, the great Max Holloway, okay? A former featherweight champion and one of the greatest that the sport's ever seen. He's matched up, though, with Justin Gaethje, the human highlight reel, fighting for the baddest mother effer title at UFC 300. That's what you're going to love about Max, okay? The man is looking for the biggest challenges. Of course, maybe he'd forgotten about his 145-pound title aspirations because he lost 3 times to Volkanovski. But make no mistake, the man is still one of the very best. And him versus Topuria, I'd love to see it. But he's got to get through Justin Gaethje first. And if he doesn't get through Gaethje, if he loses to Gaethje, would that affect his stock in terms of challenging for a title? Of course, there's other people out there as well. This weekend, Mexico City, Brian Ortega taking on Yair Rodriguez. That's going to be a brilliant fight. The striking style of Rodriguez always excites me. Certainly down in Mexico, he's going to bring his A game. And Brian Ortega with the beautiful boxing and, of course, the jiu-jitsu that he's known for. Whoever wins that fight, potentially those guys are going to put themselves in pole position to challenge Ilia Topuria or Volkanovski if they do indeed throw down once again. So whatever Volk does, right, rest up, be proud of yourself. This is the game that we're in. It's a brutal, brutal game. The highest of highs and the lowest of lows. And when you climb up that mountain, you get to the top, staying at the peak is incredibly hard. It's a tale as old as time. You go up and then you come down. I'm not saying Volk's coming down, okay? I'm not saying that one little bit. I'm a huge fan of this guy as a person, as a fighter, and he's still got plenty more to give. Ilia Topuria, congratulations. He called it from the absolute get-go, and he was right. 15-0, 13 stoppages. This man is sensational. Speaking of sensational, the co-main event, I know I did an analysis on the night, okay? I was all hyped up. I was speaking very, very quickly. Robert Whittaker, this man's sensational. What a performance that was. It really was. Now, what's next for him? Well, as we know, Drix du Plessis and Israel Adesanya, you got to think that those guys are on a collision course, okay? So what did he do? Well, Sean Strickland, he needs a fight. Robert Whittaker just proved that he's still got it. He's proved that he's still got a chin, proved that he can still compete at the very highest level. I say put him in with Sean Strickland versus Robert Whittaker. And then obviously with Robert Whittaker being an incredible striker, Sean Strickland being an incredible boxer, you match them two up, it's going to be a fan-friendly affair, right? It will be a sensational fight, one that I'd want to see. And whoever wins then gets the challenge for the 185-pound belt against the winner of Dricus and Israel Adesanya. Don't know when that fight's going to happen. Hopefully happens soon. Anyway, thank you for watching. I just wanted to say one more time, congratulations to Ilia Topuria. Sensational. And to Alexander Volkanovski, if you do see this, my brother, stay positive. You're an incredible human being. You've had an amazing career. And I do believe you've still got more in the tank. Listen, it happens to everybody. It happens to legends, you know. The sad thing is, we're all only human, but every fight is different. I'll use my own experiences. When I fought Luke Rockhold the first time, I got knocked out. When I fought Luke Rockhold the first time, I got choked out. When I fought him again in the rematch, I got a knockout inside the very first round. So every single fight is different, okay? Anyway, thank you for watching. Subscribe and ring the bell. I'll see you soon.